What's going on, traders? I want to walk you through my Tuesday trading, which was really the first trade of the week because yesterday was a choppy mess, slow, low volatility day, which we'll get into that as well. But I also want to go into the trade I just got out of today, putting me up about $1,200. But you can see it's really just the one trade copied to multiple accounts. So first off, we go into that trade. This is a 2-minute chart just to scrunch it up together, make it nice and clean. No doubt that we're looking for longs today with the higher highs and higher lows. It's been nothing but above this New York view up here in black since 5-10 minutes after the open, sold off a little bit, and then just been all buyers ever since. Now, albeit it's been a little bit slow in terms it took a while to make a new high a day, another pullback, and then another new high later on. But you can't argue that it ever looked bearish throughout the day, so I don't think you should have been selling it today. It was just being patient for that best long opportunity, right? So before today's trade, which you can see on the top right of the screen, our classic high of day view up break would be our first entry signal on this high day break, maybe around here. Stop loss below structure, about 9 points here on the 2-minute because the break's going to happen later. You can see no follow through for that 1R solid risk reward, maybe potentially because it had just rejected this green view up, which is the all-time high view up. So maybe that's poor risk reward to a key level that we just rejected. That could definitely be better. I want to look for longs, but not really into a level. I want to be clear and above it, tell me there's not potential resistance above us. The second play would be once it gets back above and buyers reclaim it again, still building higher lows from previous. Okay, we didn't get the pop there, but buyers are stepping back in. Let's go with the same entry, maybe the same little bit tighter stop. Does it get you 1R? Maybe in the next hour, right? Because this is a 2-minute chart. So it takes quite a bit of time to develop. I mean, that's an hour right there, and it's still not even technically 1R, but maybe you're trading up to the high of day or all-time high view up. You can get 0.7 out of it. But again, it takes about an hour and pretty stressful having to sit through these drawdown, but still, ultimately, building higher lows. So it never looked bad. It's just not my favorite trade when you have to sit through this much drawdown because ideally, we're getting in when the buyers are stepping back in, so we should be ready to move higher, right? Continue this trend. Tell me that buyers are 100% back in control. We should have no problem moving back higher now to continue the trend. But probably because that resistance potentially above us of that all-time high view up, there's a little bit of a tug of war going on between the buyers and sellers. So there's two entries there. The best one I guess you could argue is maybe we finally do make a new high of day just slightly, but still respecting this green view up that you could still argue it's holding all-time high view up, and I definitely would. But if we anchor to that high of day, right, so let's get rid of this old one, it does in fact make a new high of day, body and pin. Pulls back, nice and healthy, still building higher lows from previous. So I still like the direction, no doubt. I was never selling it today. Break above the high day view up here. I get a good level for my stop loss that if it takes out these higher lows, it's probably coming back down to New York, which is where I would want it to come down to see a healthy pullback. Not often do we see it never really pull back to this black view up of New York, anchored from 930, that I kind of want a healthier pullback all the way down here. So I can either buy the bounce or just see a full retest come in, then bounce, and then the break of high day view up, which we can go over later, which is actually just, it's mentioned heavily in my new futures course, Futures 2.0, which is actually out now on AceFX TV. Not to plug it too hard, but it is spoken about there a lot of these type of entries of, is this a good entry? Yeah, it's definitely solid. It's a high day view up break. What could be better is if we were off a full retest, off a key level like New York, because we know the pullback normally likes to end there, and then we could bounce and continue from there. But regardless, go check that out, and you'll know what I mean when you see the plenty and plenty of markups that I put in there. But back to this one. So another high day break. Finally, after a new high day, that one does get you a less stressful, right? Because it's all profit and it's pretty quick compared to the other ones. In about 20-30 minutes, you get over 1R for a new high day, clearly. So that's not bad, but it definitely could have rejected this all-time high view up again. Maybe it came down to New York, and then you're asking yourself, why'd you buy it when it just smacked that all-time high view up just like it did earlier on in the day. So I think it's still a little bit tougher of a trade. I'm not questioning the direction. I do think it wants to go higher more than short, but there is always that question of, if this were to lose, would I be upset that I traded into this clear resistance level? Because it was acting as resistance. But now, we break through it on that trade idea we just went over. New high a day, pull back. Now we're using that resistance as support. And buyers defend it, still building from previous. Higher lows all day. Doesn't look like it wants to pull back to this New York view up like we potentially wanted. So we just got to pivot on the fly. What else could I take, right? I'm not abandoning my plan, but I don't have to see it fully to New York. I can still use other levels, aka the all-time high view up. It was a key view up for resistance. Now buyers are holding it as support. and now we get another high day break. So now I'm in there, right? You can see back here, not quite in yet because buyers didn't reclaim this high day here. So I'm not in yet. Still building higher lows, and then we get the break. Boom, nice quick pop for a new high day, slightly and a little bit over 1R. And it's still trying to get to 1R currently as we speak because the day is still going up. It's about half an hour left into the market's close. But I think it's a super clean long biased day. There was no doubt we were looking for longs all day. But I think, not to be biased, if you had to pick one, I like mine the most just because now I'm not fearful that we might reject and smack that all-time high view up above us as a potential ceiling. So I think once you clear that resistance, use it as support now, right? Because just because we break above it, I'm not jumping into a long here saying, finally, we broke through it. Let me chase it higher. No, that's just not what I do. I need to see a new high made, confirming the trend that we do have the strength to go higher almost. And then buyers defend it. Buyers step back in. Boom, let's go continue the trend. And now this with 30 minutes left. Might just fizzle out for the rest of the day, but that's fine. I got my 1R and I'm out. So a really nice trading day to be super patient, right? Because I really didn't want to long the price action, but I wanted to find longs today because I was convicted in those longs. I believe we could go higher with just the clear bullish sentiment all above New York. So I just would have preferred to see a full retest down to this. Because one last thing, if I do buy it down here, I can maybe find good risk reward up to that all-time high view up that if we were to smack it again, that's fine. I'm out of my trade, right? I don't need it to break through. Where if I take a high day break here, well, now I'm like 3 points away from maybe hitting that resistance. So I don't like that trade. But if I can get a nice lower price, that could make more sense. But we never get it. But then it does break above, and this isn't until 2:20. So super late to find my first trade of the day. Didn't clock out. Didn't drain all my mental energy during this chop. I just walked away because nothing was presenting. It was super slow. I know there's a resistance in my way. I'm going to take a break, do some other work. I'll come back later on and see if I can find another entry to take. And today, thankfully, I did present one. It won't always. Sometimes this late afternoon power hour could be a little bit dry, but able to stay patient today, find that first trade of the week because we won't touch on it too much. We can make another video about that. But this is yesterday's price action, just even more choppy because we got earnings today, Google after the open or after the close, that maybe was super slow. But in all, it went 20 points all day, all day. So super, super slow. Same thing yesterday, just real quick. If we anchor a lower day view up there, you can see the breaks just had no follow through. No follow through for new lows of day, but still holding underneath our opening range lows somewhere around here. That was just no conviction in it, no clear direction that sellers were able to find the strength to make new lows in this case, where today the buyers did have strength to keep on small, but keep on making new highs a day and clearly trending a lot better than this day to the left. I mean, there's no argument there. So good to be flat yesterday, not have to recover anything today, right? It's my first trade of the week. Feeling fresh. Took about 20-30 minutes. Waited all day for it. We'll take it. Finish off October strong. But yeah. Hopefully you guys found some value on that. Hope you didn't get beat up too much over here earlier on trying to find longs. And if you did, mark them up. Take some notes. Watch this video over and over again. And we'll learn from it. All right? But yeah, use these VWAPs for sure. Definitely a lot more markups on these type of ideas on Futures 2.0, which is on AceFX TV for members only. So definitely go check it out. Well worth it. I take you through, I don't even know how many markups that look exactly like this because this is the bread and butter trade. This is one of my best trades when I'm off a key VWAP, clear trending structure that there's no doubt on buying it. It's a matter of when do I get to buy it? When am I going to buy it? Right? I'm not saying, do I want to sell it? Do I want to buy it? And I'm a buyer, but I don't know what price yet. I'm going to wait until that VWAP is broken. We retest the key level, right? So things like that. So definitely go check out the course, and then I'll be live again, AceFX TV on Thursday. So that'll be good. We'll find some more trades just like this. Hopefully a little bit closer to the open. And other than that, have a good rest of your evening. I'll see you guys on the desk the rest of the week.